All right, guys. So let's start with our questions from last week, the two that we did not answer. And again, I am not a paraphraser, and they're long, so work with me a little bit. From Lindsay, hi guys. I realize that you probably won't see this, but I figured I would try. See, Lindsay, we did see it. And I also saw a few of your videos, but I wasn't able to watch them all the way through, so just work with me a little bit. I got a new puppy 3 weeks ago, and my 3-year-old dog didn't handle it too well at the beginning, but now she's eating again and actually playing with the puppy. Awesome. The issue that we are having now is that the new puppy is chasing my older dog off on purpose. I assume while she's eating food, maybe. She does this while she is going potty. Example, if Elsie, the 3-year-old, is going potty, Poppy will purposefully run over there and scare her off. If Elsie is on the beanbag, Poppy is running at her, so then Poppy can sit up there. If I'm giving attention to Elsie, okay, I get the vibe. So basically, she's invading her space. I don't think she's going after her to prevent her from doing something. I think she just wants to play, and I think that's a response to the play. So in that situation, I think one of the best things you could do is put her on leash. And Poppy's our younger one, right? Elsie's the older one, Poppy's the younger one. I put Poppy on a leash. I think that's the easiest thing you can do. And instead of giving her free roam to jump on the beanbag or go after when you're doing a potty, maybe Elsie can have a longer leash when you're outside, so she has more freedom to kind of go farther away to choose her potty spot. And again, Poppy's still learning how to go potty and where to go potty. You only got her 3 weeks ago, is that right? Yeah, 3 weeks ago, 4 weeks now. So I wouldn't really be giving freedom to go wherever she wants to go potty. We're not out there for 10 minutes, and we're not allowing her to roam this 20-foot space or 10-foot space, or even if it's a small yard, a 2-foot space. We give her 3 feet of leash or 6 feet of leash, depending on the length of the area, and then I just hold, and I stand like a tree. She can spin around me, and I'll spin just so the leash doesn't get tangled on me, but I won't follow her around the yard. It's not about that. All it is about teaching her is when and where to go potty. On command. Key phrase, on command. And if that doesn't work, put her back in the crate, and then Elsie just doesn't come out for that second one. Just bring up Poppy and let her go potty again, because it might just be too much of a distraction. And I know if Bethany was sitting here, she would have probably said, why take them together? Why don't you just keep Elsie inside, take Poppy first, and she's the puppy. She probably has to go more often. And then bring Poppy in, put her in the crate, and then let Elsie go out. But let's talk about the crate. That's another big thing too. If I have my puppy in the house, I'm always doing crate. I'm doing a really, really tight schedule. It's not just for Poppy. It is for Poppy in the sense that you want to give her structure and leadership so she can look to you for it. But the bigger thing is that Elsie feels comfortable being able to roam around the house. Right now, it's not her house anymore. It's Poppy's, because Poppy is invading her space so frequently. And without even looking at your videos again, I already see it in my mind. I've already got like this picture, this image, this video of her being on her bed and Poppy being like, I want to play. I'm a puppy, and how puppies plays, let me go jump on your face and bite you on the ear and bug you until you want to play with me. Elsie may not want to play with that type of energy. Most older dogs won't. So you have to show Elsie that you're going to advocate for her space by blocking Poppy or preventing access for Poppy to get to Elsie. Okay, I think that answered all of it. The biggest thing is advocate for Elsie by blocking Poppy or keeping her on leash and preventing her from getting there. And also doing walks together if you have enough control over Poppy to where she's not jumping on Elsie, and just do general training around Elsie. And you might be able to train them together, so instead of the instinct of jumping on her, it's the instinct of let me go sit next to Elsie, because when I sit there, I tend to get a treat. I tend to get rewarded. I'm in work mode rather than always being in play mode. Okay, that's all I'm saying on that one. Please, take another video, send it to us, or even come back next week. Let us know how it is. All right. Elisa, I don't know, one of the two. Hello, thank you for all your videos, articles, and visuals. I received a 6-month-old female Cavalier King Charles Spaniel who will be with me through a guardianship. I have buckled down and read articles, viewed videos to try and understand the schedule for her. No, that's a really, sorry, I'm breaking up the sentence too much. To understand the schedule for her. She was not trained and was not kept in the home. She is well adjusted, but I'm not sure what her structure schedule would be. DT, her age? What's DT mean? Maybe. Okay. I'll take it. I work from home, but I will be implementing supervised separation. Great job. I thought I would start with the basic one-on-one of crate free time, but she isn't needing to go potty, and I'm placing her back in the kennel for 10-15 minutes at a time at 4 to 5 times before she gets free time. Is this because she is able to hold her bladder for 3 hours? Yes, it is. She can probably hold it for longer, especially if she's an older dog, 6-month-old, probably hold it for 4 to 5 hours. So maybe increase your crate time to 6 hours, and maybe give a little bit more free time, like an hour to an hour and a half, if not 2 hours. Usually I'll do a 2-to-1 ratio. So if I'm gonna do 2 hours in the crate, 30 minutes to an hour out. 4 hours in the crate, hour to 2 hours out. You just gotta play around with it. For a new dog in the home, I probably would just do the hour, because again, she's gonna need a lot of structure, a lot of crate time to become well-rounded and really just adjust to being in the home. I know you've said she's adjusting, but dogs who are really well adjusted tend to go potty a little bit quicker as well, unless we're not giving enough crate time and they can hold it longer. Where was I? Can you also clarify when it is okay to allow toys, chews, bully bone during crate free time supervised separation? I think my structured schedule is not appropriate for her age. I am doing the work, play, training, and supervised separation, just probably not long enough. So it sounds like the only question is the two questions. So we answer the first one, yes, keep her in the crate longer, or give her a longer schedule in general. Even if she has more free time out, and then 2 to 3 hours in the crate, that's still 5 hours of hold time. Then when she comes back out, 5 hours of hold time will usually get you a potty, even with adult dogs a year and a half or older than that. Can you also clarify when it's okay to allow toys, chews, bully bone during crate free time supervised separation? So I don't give anything in the crate. Bethany would probably say give her like maybe a nylabone or a Kong, something to entertain her a little bit. And it also is for soothing, like if you were to give a Kong toy or a Kong bone, you would put peanut butter inside of it, freeze it, because licking actually creates, it works through stimulation. It creates stimulation and works through anxiety because it gives them a task that they can really focus on, which sometimes will help puppies settle. In my experience, I don't get a lot of that settling because I tend to have more of the anxious dogs in the crate that are barking and whining. She does as well, and for those ones, she usually doesn't give anything. We just help them self-soothe. And also, no stuffies, no fluffy toys, because if she pulls off a thread, eats that, it could hurt something inside of her, and now you don't know she's in pain because she's in the crate, you're not watching her. So those are all supervised toys, which supervised separation, yes, that's when I'll give it. And for the work and play, obviously for work, I'm not really giving a toy unless I'm using it to train a dog because they have low food drive and I'm using it for the training itself as my motivation. And then for the play, that's when I'll use any kind of toy to advocate for the play. If I'm doing tug and drop, I'll use usually a long rope. I don't use a short toy because that's how you get your fingers nipped. I'll use a long toy so I can hold it by the ends, kind of break it in half and offer the half that's closer to her. She bites that, then I can open it up, tug, 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 play, play, play. And again, for any tug drop that you're doing or you're doing any tug of war, you always want to win the game unless you have a very anxious dog. Then it's okay to let them win because you're building confidence. But some of our more pushy puppies, you always win by ending up with the toy, make them sit, put the toy behind the back, and then break and reward them with chewing on the toy again. I think I answered that one. Oh, and choose bully bones. Actually, a lot of vets are now saying that the bully sticks aren't that great because, yeah, they're just not that great. A lot of vets are actually recommending that you do like the no hide rawhide, so it's not actually rawhide. It's a different material that's made out of bene bones. Nylabones are also really good. If you have puppy, I know Nylabone makes a puppy pack. It's like a little triple pack. It's got a little bristle brush on it. It's got a harder white one or clear one depending on what brand you get. And then the last one is like an edible one. Throw that away. That is diarrhea central. You don't want that in your house. Explosive, trust me. Okay. Ricky's cringing right now. She's like, did you really just say diarrhea on our Instagram? Yes, I did. Because Bethany's not here to stop me. Okay, Claudia Bell. Hi, sorry I keep sending long messages. The trainers answered my short question last week and it was honestly, okay, thank you. I appreciate that. Tooting our horn a little bit. I love it. We're definitely using the X-Pen wrong, and for the past week we've been putting her in the crate for all naps and it's getting much better. She usually settles in 5 to 10 minutes after a few barks and whines with us sitting next to the crate. Hopefully She usually settles in after 5 to 10 minutes after a few barks and whines with us sitting next to the crate. Hopefully will build us to not needing to be here. I don't think you need to be there now. I think possibly the whining is because you're sitting next to her and she's associating that with you wanting to be right by her, so there's still some separation anxiety forming. I would usually just put that crate in a different room, put her in there, close it, lock it. But let me ask you guys this. How does she know you're there? How does she know you're sitting there? We want to be covering it with a towel, putting on a white noise machine, some kind of sound box. I think they're called sound cubes. They're on Amazon for like 10, 15 bucks. They come with a couple little microchips that have pre-recorded playlists. There's no audio. It's just literally, no verbal singing. It's just literally audio, just by itself. You can make them very loud. It kind of drowns out the outside noise. because your puppy shouldn't know you're sitting there, because that's still building up separation anxiety, and it's harder to break that. If you just put him in the crate, put on your noise, and then walk away, you might have better results than that. I submitted another question this week because we are still having a few problems with accents in the crate. Example, yesterday evening after food, walk, play, and she had peed 10 minutes before. We put her in the crate and she barked nonstop for 5 to 10 minutes. We probably should have known something was off, but she had just went. So we were trying to be patient, but she just peed in the crate. Again, my short version was submitted, so only sending this for context in case it is helpful. LOL. Would love to hear how you handle the crate accents. Oh, and here's the other part. Woke up 3 a.m., 6 a.m. today to make sure it didn't happen overnight. Do we need to keep doing that? Anything else we can do? She has no bedding in the crate, and it's just big enough for her to walk around in a circle and sleep stretched out on her back the Wheaton way. It is the Wheaton way. Okay, so if I take a dog out for potty and 10 minutes later they have an accident in the crate, I will normally associate that to getting too much water or stimulation. If we're letting our puppy go potty, but we gave them a lot of affection, and then we put them in the crate, it's possible that you have crate anxiety. I mean, I could almost guarantee you have crate anxiety if you're getting frequent accidents in the crate. But what I would do is, one, I'd cut off the water, and just for the context of 3 a.m., 6 a.m. today, to make sure that didn't happen overnight, I would start cutting off water about 5, 6 p.m., give one final potty before bed. If you go to bed at 11 p.m., still take her out for that final potty, put her back in the crate. Did I have an age for this puppy? I don't think I saw an age. No, I didn't see an age, but if this is a puppy that's 4 months or less. 4 months old. You see that?
Yeah, she put it in the short question.
I love it. Thank you, Ricky. If I do have a puppy that's 4 months or less, it's pretty normal to have to get up. Not so much at 3 a.m. though. Maybe 4, maybe 5, maybe 6. But again, if you test it out and you see if she's not, and she is holding it, you can push it out till 5, 6, 7 if you're able to. Every puppy's a little bit different. Bigger dogs tend to hold it more than little dogs. Wheaton's kind of right in the middle. I'd say it's about 25, 30 pounds, so medium size. So I would say try seeing if she can hold it. If you're still getting the frequent accents though, she needs to have less water. To give you an idea, most young dogs between 25 and 30 pounds need a half cup of water every 2 to 3 hours. That's like the scientific amount if you look it up. But a young puppy Wheaton is probably what, like 10, 12 pounds, something like that. So referencing that number, I'd cut it to a quarter cup of water. And will I measure it out? Heck yes, I will. I will actually measure out a quarter cup of water, put it in a small bowl so it seems like a little bit more for the dog at least. Put it in there, give them the bowl for about 30 seconds, maybe 15 to 30 seconds, let them drink their fill in that amount of time, take that bowl away, and now you're controlling that resource. Not only that, but also creates really great leadership. Puppies are learning about food, walk, training, and water. That's their biggest thing. So if you control those resources, you also create really great leadership for the puppy. But try that out. I don't really have much better advice than that, except for giving them an opportunity to have less water. Maybe give one final pee before the crate. But again, that's not even really going off our structure schedule. That's only for the people that are having frequent accidents. And then not giving affection before you put the dog in the crate. That's literally the definition of supervised separation. No look, no talk, no touch. They're supervised, but separated from you. They're not an attachment of you. They're not having access to you. They're learning how to exist and build confidence, self-confidence, independence on their own. Puppies that get a lot of affection when they go in the crate, they tend to be more anxious. They whine and cry for a little bit longer. And when a dog is barking, barking, barking and crying, sometimes it releases the bladder. They release the bladder because they can't hold it in and do the barking to that length at the same time. So just play around with it. And a lot of people will hear the barking and they hear the bark, 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 whine, whine, whine. They're like, oh, that's normal. But when it's like bark, bark, high pitch, bark, 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 I'm like, oh, that's a pee bark. I'll go take them out, give them a chance to go potty. They don't go potty. I'm like, not again. I'll put them in the crate. They'll wait 10 to 15 minutes. And if they continue barking, I'll wait them out. And if you get a potty accident, I'm sorry guys, it's a lot of trial and error. There's no direct science for dog training or puppy training in general. It's play as we go, trial and error, see what works, see what doesn't, and adjust. So yeah, check in with us next week. Let us know how it goes. That was a good question, Claudia. I like that one. All right, let's do a short one. Do you have my short ones? I don't have short ones here. Oh, I just skipped the page. Okie dokie. Brea Grace. How do you get your dog to go up, downstairs if they're scared? Oh, that one can be a really big challenge. I have actually noticed that with a little bit of leash pressure, kind of in the angle that you want them to move, and put a few treats on the stairs, you can even put them halfway up or down the stairs. I've learned that it's a little bit easier for puppies to go up and more challenging for them to go down, because when they look down, it can be kind of scary looking for them. If you have, I think they're called like invisible backs or invisible stairs, where they go down a stair and there's no backing to it. It feels like they're floating and make them a little bit scared, a little bit more afraid of the situation. So I would put them in the middle of the stairs and then help them walk up a couple stairs. If that doesn't work, put some food down the stairs. But you got to put a little bit of pressure on that leash. You got to help them take a step. You can guide them and be close, so if they do stumble, you can be there to kind of like prevent them from falling down the stairs, which is going to help build confidence. But eventually you got to take the training wheels off. You got to bring the hands away, do increasing pressure, show food, and when they take that step, release the pressure. Good. Light reward. We're not getting crazy in the middle of the staircase. We're just, good job. Let's go a little bit of pressure. Try it from the second stair down and see if they'll go up a couple or down a couple. Or excuse me, second stair down, see if they'll go down the stairs. Second stair from the top, see if they'll go up the stairs. You want to give them a closely attained goal for them to work towards. And Bethany might add more to that. She does more of the counter conditioning than I do, but she's not here, so that's all you get. Okay. Romeo the Husky. How to get Romeo to stop eating grass when you go outside. Prevent access. No, I'm just kidding. I would hold him on a shorter leash, and when you take him outside, I'm kind of curious if it's for a potty or if it's for just him going outside to play. If he's just outside to play and he's eating grass, he's a puppy. It's what they do. So until you get on some kind of training tool to kind of help guide the head a little bit better, I would just either step in and prevent. And if you got a goat, he's eating everything in sight, then don't walk on grass. You don't have that ability yet. And that does come with more training. And you could also start holding off on giving a meal before going on the grass. Take that meal with you. Walk on the grass and train him to get focus. Maybe do a third of the meal right before the grass. Do a third of the meal on the grass, and do a third of the meal walking across the grass, doing our relationship building exercise. Food to the nose, eye contact, good treat. Food to the nose, sit, eye contact, good treat. Romeo is actually one of our current students at Puppy Academy too. So everything you learned in your first lesson, that's what I'd practice with it.
Want to do a fast TikTok question?
Let me just finish this one. I got one more part to it. If it's for potty can be much more difficult because you still need to get focused, and obviously you bring out food. Now they're not going to pee for you. If I take Romeo onto the grass and I got 10-15 seconds on the grass, honestly, I'm not going to give him 3 minutes if he's eating grass. I'm going to literally give him an opportunity to step on the grass, and if he doesn't eat grass and just sniffs and moves, I'll let him wait that 3 minutes. If he goes to the grass and instantly goats the grass, just starts eating it, I'll take him inside, put him back in the crate. 10-15 minutes, come back out, find that same patch over and over and over again. But 10-15 minutes in the crate, eventually he's gonna have to go potty. Eventually he's gonna go, good boy, good potty. Guide him away from the grass with a treat, key factor or food, whatever he follows. Sit, good treat. So now he's not going potty and then eating grass. He's going potty and then coming to you to check in. Be careful though, it can be a vicious cycle though. If he does a 1 second potty, comes and sits next to you, eliminate the food. It's not gonna work. All right, TikTok question.
What's the most popular dog that you train the most?
Doodles. Absolutely. In every way, shape, or form. If I have 28 dogs in my facility right now, I have probably 18 doodles. I got a couple huskies.
Okay, that's a little much, but...
You think so?
18?
Yeah, it's half our dogs here right now. How many do you think we have?
I would say maybe like...
12? Okay, so 6 short. We have 12 doodles. It's literally a third of our program. Yeah, doodles are most popular. I mean, you have so many doodles. You have Bernedoodles, Labradoodles, Sheepadoodles, Golden Doodles. There's so many. Australian Labradoodles. We have so many combinations. I don't even know where they're coming out from. But yeah, doodles are by far the most popular dog. Not because they're calm. Don't get the wrong idea. It's because they can keep up with a family, and that's why a lot of our owners get them, because they're either starting a family, they have a family, or they just really like the breed. Yeah. Okay. And this is Claude's. We already answered her question though. If you abide, I live in an apartment building and my puppy barks whenever he hears sounds from outside the apartment. Neighbors talking in the hall, the elevator doors opening and closing. Ouch, that can be a challenge. I would say that you need to start getting your puppy's attention. And if they're guarding / creating territorialism, standing by doors, looking out windows, prevention is your best key factor. So if I have a dog walking to the door and barking, they wear a leash 24/7 outside of the crate. They do playpen time, they do supervised separation, they do specific training time where they bark at a door and it's dog come, place, sit, good. They don't come because they're barking. Leash pressure, when they eventually acknowledge you, body language, energy, food, come, place, sit down. Don't reward them yet. We don't want to reward them for barking. We want to reward the redirection and eventually attention. They're still looking at that door. Come, opposite direction. Place, come, opposite direction. Place, leash guidance, big energy, food if you need it. You might have to up the reward as well. And then eventually when you get that focus and they ignore the door, they ignore the sound, they ignore the person, good treat. So you're training to get focus rather than respond to stimulation. Crate training is also one of the biggest ones as well. Dogs that are in crate tend to be more well-balanced and more relaxed. A dog barking at every little sound usually needs a little bit more crate time because it sounds to me like the dog is overstimulated and almost waiting, almost sitting there like, okay, what am I going to hear? It's 2 p.m. This is usually when I eat my meal. And right after I eat my meal, that's when I hear this guy leave for work. And they're starting to wait for sounds. Find a routine. So switch it up. Keep them guessing instead of them anticipating when those distractions might come. And this is one of our YouTube questions from Baba TV. What about off the leash? After walk, my puppy gets over hype in the house. What about off the leash?
We had a calm down exercise video to do, like after
Gotcha.
activity. Yeah.
After walk, my puppy gets overhyped in the house. That's because they're off the leash. There is no off the leash. When you bring your dog home, one of the first thing a dog wants to do when they get in the home, usually, is go into zoomy mode. Run tracks around your house. So I would actually keep on the leash, put your dog on place after doing a little bit of training. So come inside the house, grab a handful of food, kibble, treats, whatever you need to get your dogs focused, whatever they're waiting for. If it's about to be mealtime, work them for that meal. And then in the training session with 10-15 minutes of place duration. Help them settle down and calm down. And when you eventually release them from place duration, I still wouldn't take the leash off. I just let them drag it. They instantly go into zoomy mode, step on the leash. They hit the end, boing, they kind of look back at you, whoa, what the heck was that? You're just calm, you're relaxed. Eventually they start slowing down, walking calmly, and that's what I'd feed into. I'd feed into that calm behavior and reward that rather than rewarding the craziness. Because a lot of times what I tell people is your walks aren't just for them, it's for both of you. It's a relationship. It's a relationship building exercise of how to follow you outside. So a lot of our walks with our puppies are training. It's come, sit, good. Let's go, walk 10, 15 steps, they get distracted, come, sit, good. Over and over and over until you have your puppy's focus, which means that when you get home, they still have that physical energy left, but only if it's given a channel to be used. If it's used and you let them off the leash and they go zoomy, zoomy, then you'll get zoomy, zoomy every time. And they're going to condition themselves to do that every time. But if you take them home and use that channel for training, come, sit, down, stay, place, drop it, leave it, fetch, you're always going to have that channel, so they use the energy in a more productive way rather than defaulting to crazy. Okay, yeah, kind of like that answer. Allison Vinson, or Lisa Vinson. Did I already answer this one?
A different one. Because the other one was from last week, and then she sent this one this week.
Thank you. How much time do I have? Oh, I got 3 minutes. I got this. We started late, so I'm keeping your 3 minutes extra. Yay. All right. Elisa Vinson, another question for your next Q&A. Libby is my 6-month-old Cavalier, and breeder will be showing her. She instructed us not to teach her the sit command. Okay. She can lay down, stand, come, and shake, but to be honest, it's hard to get past these basic commands without a sit central starting point. Would you teach the sit command knowing you can teach the stand, stay, and other commands needed for a show? I'm going to stop you now. I would teach sit.
We've done it here though for show dogs.
I know we do, but it's so hard. So you are not a dog trainer. So if you want to teach your dog how to down and how to stand, but not teach sit, you need to hire a show dog trainer. That is a specific dog trainer that comes in and teaches you the routine. But it's not as balanced. It's not as positive reinforcement, and it's not as balanced. There's like a punishment for sitting instead of just downing. for not standing and automatically sitting. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of that type of training because I think it's one of the most instinctual things for a dog to sit naturally, and that's what creates a calm dog. But they are out there. You can get show dog trainers, no problem, that will prevent the sit and teach you straight into the down. I just think it's really hard for someone who's not a dog trainer to teach that unless you have someone working with you in your home, handling that leash with you to help you. That's my personal opinion. I'm still going to read the end of the question. That just heats my blood a little bit. Okay. I want to see what Bethany's saying right now. I do want to see what she's saying.
Bethany did shows. So yeah.
I know, Bethany did do shows. She would probably give a very different answer from me. I just work with a lot of puppies, and I know how frustrated they get when you move them from something that's so ingrained in them and so calming to them. Okay, wait, I'm stopping. When you teach sit command, knowing you can teach stand stay and other commands needed for the show, I just need advice on how to train without a sit command, or do I need to have the mindset that every dog can learn commands and teaching a sit command to a show dog isn't bad? I think yes, but Beth might give you a different answer. Thank you so much for all your help. I love watching your past Q&As. Thanks again, Elisa. Breeders are very specific if they want to show a dog. I actually have a neighbor that's down the street from where I live. I trained their show dog like maybe 3-4 years ago, and that breeder was going to show the dog, but that breeder actually had extensive knowledge with show dog training. So I actually spoke with her on the phone. She said, just teach everything you normally teach except for an automatic down. That's the one thing I don't want you to teach, because then that's when dogs tend to get a little bit more lazy and relaxed and they default to the down. But she was like, I'll work the dog through not sitting automatically. They use show leads. They're very specific on very close guidance. But I've only worked with maybe 5 or 6 show breeders, and most of the time they have experience doing show training and they didn't really care what you taught. They're always able to kind of go in there, and with a really great handler, they can adjust the dog to follow without an automatic default sit. So my opinion, you teach whatever you need to. It's your dog. You got to make sure that you're doing the best for the dog. If they're very specific, then hire a show dog trainer, because they're going to teach you all the techniques you need to know. I am not a show dog trainer. I don't teach prevention of automatic sit. Bethany might have more tips for you. Maybe we'll run it by her next week too. Okay. Last one. Look at that timing. Okay. Give me that one first.
Ideas on how to socialize my 8-week puppy to other dogs safely. I'm worried about him getting parvo.
You can't. They're 8 weeks old, so they're still not fully vaccinated. It's kind of just a trust thing. If you have a friend's dog or a neighbor's dog that you trust isn't out and about, who could be holding, like actually have parvo or have any of the bacteria, or I think it's mainly from dogs that sniff poop, and they could be carrying it but not actually showing any signs and not actually being affected by it. That's the only risk. So if you want to be extra safe, just don't socialize them yet. But what you can do is you can take that puppy places, not set them on the ground, maybe just kind of hang out with them and let them watch everything, let them experience it. I'm not going to let them go up and say hi to every person, say hi to every dog. I just want them to get the knowledge of what it's like to be outside. If I have a clean area that isn't super dirty, I'm not putting them on public grasses. I'm not putting them on well-frequented streets, but I might kind of go off to the side and have them kind of hang out next to me on the ground or in my arms watching everything. But again, I'm not cooing and petting and doing all the touchiness, because now they're humans. They're up here being pet all the time. It's just held like a purse, very calm, because obviously I hold lots of purses. Held like a purse, very calm, very relaxed. They see something and they watch it go by. Good. Grab a treat, reward them with a treat. You set them in a unfrequented area that you know is going to be clean to a certain degree. They watch something go by, they don't pull, good treat. You could work on eye contact routines, you could work on come routines. But yeah, if you want to be safe, then don't do any of that. Wait till they have their 3rd round of shots, which usually happens at 12 weeks. If you're just trying to condition them to be outside, then I would just do the purse hold with rewarding good behaviors like watching but not reacting, not barking, not whining, not crying, and then setting them down and doing a little training with them off to the side. Hopefully I answered your question. Sound Grace. Hi, Grace again. Luana is 11 months old. I like that name, Luana. Luana is 11 months old, female cavapoo. She started barking at just male human that she has never seen or met before. Indoor or outdoor, same. I'm really watching her. If she is only acting like that to make male, and I think she is it possible? How can I stop her from this behavior? Or what should I do when she does that? Thanks for all your advice. I think she's a bit anxious. I think maybe she's had even a bad experience of a man walking in and like, hey, how's it going, guys? Big loud voice. And she's like, whoa, that's too much for me. And it could have created some kind of fear. Maybe it's just a reaction that she's given now. So in that situation, I would try to prevent. Okay, let me clarify that. I wouldn't prevent, but I would basically tell anyone walking in, hey guys, so she's a little bit nervous of men. So come in a little bit softer. Don't try to pet her. She doesn't want that. She doesn't even like you yet. She may never like you, and that's okay. But just come in, kind of exist around her, and show her that you're not a threat by coming in quietly. Sit on the couch, ignore her. Maybe she'll decide to come up to you. Don't try to pet her. Just kind of keep your hand low. She sniffs it. She walks away. That's fine. And you can eventually build up to that. If I see men on the walk and she's growling at them, redirect away and try to gain focus and work her through it. We call it working below threshold. Threshold is when she growls, when she barks. If some dogs have 0 to 100, some dogs' threshold is really low at a 20 where they growl and bark. You got to build up that threshold by working through challenging situations and learning how to get focused. I know a lot of people that will take a handful of food, the dog's meal, the next meal they're about to eat, on a walk with them in a training pouch. And when a dog hyper focuses on a human, man, woman, doesn't matter, little kid, older kid, doesn't matter. The minute that hyper focus kicks in, dog come, draw them away from the person, good treat, and bubble out to the side. You got to advocate for her. You got to show her that she doesn't need to be afraid of these people because no one's going to get her. No one's coming up to kick her. All we're teaching her is that people are generally good. And if you take that pressure off of her, she may eventually warm up to them. It's probably not going to happen right away. It may take 6 months to 6 years. I don't really know. It depends on how much you work on it, but take that pressure away from her. Just because she's afraid of them doesn't mean you have to work her up to liking them. She just may not like men, but that's okay. Just create that, advocate for her, create some space, and see if she eventually warms up to him. And yeah, check in with us. Give us a couple weeks, and then let us know how it goes.
Can you let Lindsay Beck know we answered her question first today, so she can question first?
Did we answer it first?
We did.
Lindsay Beck, we answer your question first. So if you start the replay, and Ricky's so amazing, she actually tags all the different questions in it. If you redo the replay, you were literally our first question. You were a 10-minute question too. That was fun. Okay. All right, guys. Thank you for joining us. Please post your questions. And yeah, we'll see you next week. Take care. Maybe I'll be solo again. Probably not. Okay. Bye.